Now, I mentioned the other night about what this evil son of a bitch, and he is evil, Donald Trump, what he's doing under the cover. Oh, and before I get to that, I heard a little bit of his so-called press briefing today. Why legitimate reporters show up for that fucking sewer to listen to him and that goddamn Dr. Bricks or Burks, what's her name? Burks, boy, she took her shots at the media today. The only person worth a goddamn on that entire podium, not the little robotic Mike Pence. Mike Pence looks like he's gonna die. He really looks sick, doesn't he? But the only person worth listening to is Anthony Fauci. I just wish he would get away from those zombies and killers. But even Burks today got her licks in on the media, and then Trump just fucking can't help himself. He's such a childish, murderous, sick fuck with his lamestream news. You bastard. I don't know why people go to that thing. Why? Why to legitimate, I'm not talking about the Fox sewer, fuck them. Legitimate news gathering organizations. Why go there? Nothing is being said. And you're not going to get an answer from anybody that makes any sense except from Fauci. The rest of them are props for this egomaniacal bastard Donald Trump. Why go? But I mentioned the other night that while we in the real world are dealing with this virus, this filthy pig Trump is doing shit behind the scenes that just absolutely defines him as a sneaky, evil fucker. This is in the New York Times today. As much of his government battles the coronavirus outbreak, President Trump is pushing ahead with major reversals of environmental regulations, including a restriction on scientific research that some doctors worry could complicate future pandemic controls. Did you hear what I just fucking said? These dirty, goddamn murderous Christian Nazis are working Trump's brain, and he's working their votes. It's a mutual destruction society. Only we're the ones, along with the Christian nutfucks, who eventually are all of us are going to be destroyed. They are pushing on Trump to restrict scientific research because science is real and religion is garbage horseshit. Anyway, federal employees across multiple agencies, regulatory agencies that have to be there because of the predatory nature of capitalism and the foul, destructive nature of Christianity, these hardcore Christian rats. Between the two, if they were allowed to travel at whatever speed they wanted to, this country would be fucked and dead within 6 months. And then these Christian nut bastards could have their glorious, oh, Jesus is coming. Hey, you assholes. No, he isn't. Ever. Federal employees across multiple agencies, according to the Times, said the Trump administration was racing to complete a half dozen rollbacks over the coming month, singular month. They include a measure to weaken automobile fuel efficiency standards. Let's trash that. Which one person familiar with the plans to destroy that said would be issued as early as next week. Other efforts include loosening controls on toxic ash from coal plants. Ask Bob Kincaid, the head on radio network, about that one. The coal ash plants, full of heavy metals and toxic poisons. And their restrictions, loose, stupid fucking restrictions that don't protect people from what happens when one of those coal ash reservoirs, boils over, and kills people, anyone in its path. And they want to. Trump wants to loosen the restrictions. Why? Why the fuck does he want to do that? Because he's sick. He's a sick fuck. They want to relax restrictions on mercury emissions. Mercury, acid rain. Mercury, a heavy metal that goes right to the central nervous system and fucking destroys anyone exposed to it. Mercury, which winds up in mother's milk. And Trump wants to put more of it into the environment. Why? And weakening what little consideration these fuckers have where it concerns climate change in the environmental rules for infrastructure projects. Yeah, we need bridges, rail beds, we need dams, we need reservoirs, we need all kinds of shit, but they have to be constructed taking into consideration what the next generation, the one after that and the one after that, is facing. You and I, we're not going to be here. We're not. I don't know how old you are. If you're in your 20s, you're fucked. If you're in your 60s, 70s, 50s, 80s, we're not going to be here to see what is coming with global warming, disruptive climate change. Notice how that issue is disappeared in terms of the popular discussion. And even though it's disappeared, this Trump fucker wants to weaken whatever little puny-ass regulations are already in place to try to get a handle on climate change. This dirty son of a bitch. Now, the timeline from the Trump bastards is aimed at shielding the policies from easy reversals if the Democrats win the White House or control the Senate in the next election. They're trying to remove these restrictions in a way that would make it almost impossible for Democrats to turn it around. This is going to be Trump's legacy. You know what his legacy is going to be? Death. Not death of other populations caused by U.S. imperialism, caused by International Monetary Fund or the World Bank destroying other societies. It's going to be death here in the United States. That's Trump's legacy, the murderous prick. Several agency officials speaking on condition of anonymity said they were surprised that the Trump gang had shown no sign of letting up on demolishing these necessary restrictions during this pandemic. They don't give a fuck. Pandemic to them, to Trump and his killers, it's a screen, a smoke screen behind which, because they're masters of the universe, they're not going to be touched by it. But they get behind the screen of the pandemic and destroy the regulatory agencies in this country. The Times goes on and says a dozen federal workers who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to talk publicly about agency work. Well, no shit. They all described a relentless atmosphere at the EPA and the Interior Department, a relentless atmosphere to destroy everything. Several people said they had been told to expect no slippage or relaxation of deadlines. We want these rules fucking deep-sixed by the date we told you. Fuck the coronavirus. Get it done. Even though thousands of federal employees, like much of the nation, are working from home and juggling child care along with their work responsibilities, makes no difference. The coronavirus to Trump and his gangsters is a smoke screen, a cover. So the instructions to the employees, the deep state, in these agencies is to get the work done. Don't give us any whiny bullshit about, oh, your mom's sick with coronavirus. Oh, your dad just died. Oh, your children have a fever. We don't fucking want to hear it. Get the work done. Destroy these regulations. Do the paperwork. God damn. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. You have your choice. You can listen to the ranting with the audio podcast or listen and watch me lose control with a video podcast subscription. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com. And never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.